Hey everyone, AJ here from Whole Latte Love. Super automatic bean-to-cup espresso machines make cafe-quality coffee drinks at the push of a button. Enjoy quick and convenient coffee and milk-based espresso beverages like lattes, cappuccinos, flat whites, and more in your home. In this encore presentation, Mark and I compare a couple of the best values in the business, the Gaggia Magenta and Magenta Prestige. You'll see how they work as we make drinks and pour some latte art and find out which of these 4.5 out of 5-star reviewed machines best fits your style. And during the premiere of this encore presentation, we'll be in the comments to answer any questions you have on the Gaggia Magenta or other coffee and espresso products or techniques. Before we get to the video, a reminder that Whole Latte Love has the best selection of everything coffee and espresso. Plus, our experts, they are passionate. They'll get you the advice and the products you need. And the shopping experience at Whole Latte Love, check it out. Many of the products in 3D and augmented reality so you can see it on your countertop before you buy. And if you want to stand out from the crowd, use our customizer to add unique colors or wood components on select machines to create one that's your very own. Plus, you can bundle products for automatic savings and go to the sale page at Whole Latte Love for special Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals going on now. With that out of the way, here's a comparison of two unbeatable values in super automatic bean-to-cup espresso machines.
Hey, espresso lovers, Mark and AJ here at Whole Latte Love. We're taking a look at a couple Gaggia Magenta machines. AJ, what do you have?
Yeah, this is the Magenta Plus, and over there?
I've got the Magenta Prestige. So both Magentas, but we would just want to compare the differences real quick, and we'll show you how we do a couple drinks on them. So my machine, the Prestige, uses one of these.
Yep, and I'll use a manual frothing pitcher on mine. We're gonna each brew a couple drinks. I'll make an Americano and then manually froth milk for a latte, try to pour some latte art. And how about you?
I'm going to do an espresso and a flat white. We love the Americanos. Both of these machines will do it. I love the flat whites, and this machine does it really well, something you're not going to find on a lot of machines. And just real quick, before we show you how you make the drinks, if you're not familiar with the bean-to-cup machines, really pretty simple, right? I mean, got water in one side.
Yep. And on the other side, you've got your bean hopper. You just pour whole beans in. It'll grind them fresh for every single cup you make. And that's as simple as it is.
Yeah, and it's going to be so much better than pre-ground coffee. We're using whole beans ground fresh. So we'll talk about the coffees we're using coming up. You've got one of your favorites. Yep. I've got one of mine. So let's go make some drinks. All right, I'm going to start out, AJ. I'm going to make an espresso over here. So we'll get that going. One thing on this machine, you do have this little removable deal here. So I'm going to put my cup there. We have adjustable spouts here. You got some pretty good clearance up here if you want to use the taller glasses. So let's just take a look at the drinks available on the Prestige. So right here I've got espresso, coffee, cappuccino, latte macchiato. I have the Americano over here too. You're going to make one in a minute. Got hot water, espresso lungo, cafe au lait, the flat white. We'll make that in a minute. A ristretto, a cafe cortado, and just plain frothed milk. But I'm going to go back to the espresso. And one thing I really like about these machines is when you select a beverage, you're presented with all the drink parameters. So right now I'm going to get 1.5 ounces of coffee. My temperature is going to be high, and I'm using full strength. If I wanted to do 2 espressos, I just hit that button there, and then when I go, it'll do 2 separate grind cycles. I just want 1, so we'll take that back to 1, and we'll hit start. So it's going to grind those beans up fresh.
And this machine's a lot quieter than some of the other ones with the grinder too.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm using the crema wave. This is our very own crema wave. And you're going to see we're going to get what I call a bucket of crema. This is roasted locally for us. It's a modern American take on a classic Italian bean blend. Uses all specialty grade beans. That's something you're not usually going to get in the coffees from Italy. A little bit of honey and almond in here. It's been out about 3 months. We roast it every few weeks. It's getting rave reviews. I'll put a link in. Do check out this coffee. And look at that. I mean, that is just a beautiful crema bucket.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a little taste. And AJ, you're going to go and you're going to make the Americano.
Sure, yeah. So you showed what drinks you can make on your machine. I'll quickly go through mine as well. And you'll notice on mine, obviously, there's less milk options because it doesn't come with the built-in carafe. So it's all coffee-based things. But you've got espresso, coffee, steam, espresso lungo, Americano, and hot water. So while there's less pre-built-in one-touch options, because you can do manual steaming, it opens up the full range of,
Yeah,
you can make anything you want.
You go as hot as you want with the milk, or
Right.
as cold as you want with the milk.
So I'm going to do an Americano. Click that. And I haven't programmed this yet, but just to show you how easy it is, this is about a 6-ounce glass. So I could take my coffee up to maybe, I don't know, 1.7 ounces. And then quick math, that should be about 5 right there. So we'll go 1.7 coffee, 3.7 water, take my temperature up to high and my strength of my beans all the way up to full. Press start. And what I like about this is some machines for the Americano, you got to do it in 2 steps. You have to do the espresso and then go in, press more buttons, do the hot water, or even move the cup. This I can press start, walk away, come back, and I got a drink. So Americanos is, if you haven't had them before, it's a shot of espresso and then hot water on top of that. I like them because you get all the kind of flavors and nuances of the espresso, but over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy it for longer.
And if you really like the flavor of your coffee, this is a great way to get a purer flavor as compared to something like drip. And the coffee you're using.
The coffee I'm using is one of my favorites. It's the Carraro Tazza d'Oro. If you've seen videos, I've kind of mentioned this and used this in the past. The bag looked a lot different. Carraro just kind of rebranded and repackaged. Same exact beans, same exact taste, but it looks a little nicer in the bag now.
Yeah. So now it's gonna get you some hot water. So this is pure hot water over the top.
Yep.
So you get a coffee-sized beverage that's not putting all that water through the coffee itself.
Right, yeah, because you could do a coffee or a lungo, and that's just going to pull water through the puck the whole time. But this is just through a separate system, or after it already dumped the grounds, just hot water going through. So you don't get over extraction, you don't get those bitter flavors.
Right.
And I generally like to go, if I'm making these volume-wise, about 1 to 2. So a 1 to 2 ratio of espresso to hot water, which is about what I'm going to get here.
But it's really nice that you can do whatever you want. If you want a little stronger, a little weaker.
Just about done. And then after I finish here, I'll take my drink, and it will ask me on the screen if I want to save those settings that I made at the beginning. And I'm probably going to use this cup next time, so do you want to save these settings? Sure. Now, the next time I go in to make an Americano, I've got those volumes that are from my previous drink already ready to go, and I don't have to do anything.
I really do like how that works on this machine. So I am going to do the flat white. We'll talk about what a flat white is if you don't know. So I pulled this out of the fridge. It's all ready to go. We'll talk about how that cleans up real easy when we're done. This is a water spout, so if you want to get hot water out of the machine, so you just take that off, replace this with the carafe. Pull out the spout. I'm going to pull these down a little bit. I've got my cup right here, so we'll set that in. And I'm just going to navigate through to the flat white. Oh, I went by it. There it is. So I press the flat white, and again, I'm going to get, now I already programmed mine earlier, but I'm using 2.5 ounces of espresso, 3.38 ounces of milk. I'm going high temp, I'm going full strength. Got 5 strength levels here, plus a bypass doser for pre-ground if you want to do a decaf, something like that. So I'm going to get this rolling. Just press start. So it's grinding the coffee up, and now what's special on the Magenta, and also the Gaggia Cadorna, which is the next model up from these, is this going to do a true double shot flat white. So it's going to grind 2 times. And I don't have to tell it to do that. It does it automatically. It does a flat white. A flat white typically uses a double shot of espresso. And on the Gaggia Magenta, each grind cycle, if you're at that full strength, you're going to get 11.5 grams of coffee ground. So doing 2 of those, I'm using 23, if my math's right, I'm using 23 grams of coffee, which is a triple
Which
shot.
is a lot, yeah.
And that's the way I like my milk drinks. I want them coffee forward.
Yep. And if you wanted it a little less intense, you could dial that straight down.
You dial that right back, and you get like, I think at the lowest setting, you're working at about 15, 16 grams of coffee.
For that double shot, yeah.
Which is what you're going to get in most cafes, but I like it strong. So you just heard it do this second grind cycle, so now it's going to do that second extraction, so we're going to get full flavor. You know, machines from a lot of other manufacturers, again, if you ask for 2 coffee beverages, it's just going to push more water through the same coffee. On the Gaggia machines, if you do two coffees or 2 espressos, it does those double grind cycles.
Yep.
So there's my espresso. Another thing with this machine is it flops the prep order of the milk and the espresso depending on the drink you make.
Right, so for the flat white, it did espresso first and then the milk. If you're doing a cappuccino, it'll do the milk first and then the espresso, right?
Yeah, and it makes a really big difference in the presentation of the drink. So it's just heating up now to create the steam that's going to send through here. Then what we'll do at the end is I'll show you how easy it is to clean this so this is ready to go right back into your fridge for next time. So there comes my froth milk. Well, that's going. I'm just going to grab a cup for cleaning here.
Sure. That looks really nice in there too.
Doesn't it?
It's mixing beautifully.
The froth is really nice. Also, these machines make a really hot beverage.
Yep.
We've measured the coffee temperatures and espresso temps coming off 175 to 190 Fahrenheit. And there's my flat white. And it looks exactly what you want out of a flat white.
Yeah.
I missed a little cleaning. It did come up on the screen because I wanted to drink.
You were too busy drinking.
I was too busy drinking. So here's how easy it is to clean. Now I missed a little thing. It's going to come up with a thing. You just press a button. It'll do the clean, but you can do it any time. So I'm going to hit clean set, clean, and quick milk clean's the very first option here. So I just do the check. I'm going to press start. It's going to tell me to place a container under there. So it's going to blow some hot water through here. And this is really, really quick. So, you know, if you're in a hurry in the morning or whatever and you want your milk drink and you want it to just be ready for the next day, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, it says it takes about a minute, but that took 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's quick.
It's done. Pop this off. It's ready to go back in the fridge, all ready to go for next time.
So last up, I'm gonna do a latte. We'll show you how milk drinks work on the Magenta. And you have a bunch of different options depending on how you manually froth your milk. And if you want to learn more about that process, I've got a separate video on that, which we'll put a link down in the description. But I'll show you how to do kind of a finer microfoam for latte art. So when you're doing that, you've got options because you can either brew your shot or steam your milk one at a time. And you can kind of go either way. I normally do my shot first and then my milk, but I'm going to switch it up today, so I'll steam my milk just because. When you've got a manual wand like this, sometimes you build up a little condensation in there. So you always want to do a quick little purge of that before you start steaming your milk. Otherwise, they'll just inject a little water in your cup. It's not a big deal if you don't, no big deal. But I press steam. It's heating up right now. That'll take a few seconds. What I like to do is throw a rag on our drip tray here, so that when it purges onto my rag. I'll set that aside, and then when I go to wipe down the wand later, I've already got a wet rag
moistened,
ready to go. You'll hear it start kind of clicking, meaning it's getting close, and right when I see that first jet of water come out, I'm gonna press stop, because I don't wanna kind of waste what steam I do have. But there we go, that's all I need to do. Now when I go to steam my milk, it should be closer to ready to go. I'm kind of doing this from the side here, so hopefully I can still kind of make it work. But
and you've got a great video I'll link if you're newer to frothing milk. We'll put a link in so you can really learn how to do it really, really well. It's really not that hard once you get the hang of it.
All right. Definitely a little harder from the side.
Yeah, you're leaving a little room so the camera can see what's going on there.
But I injected that air in the beginning. Now I'm just kind of getting that nice roll, that nice whirlpool in there to mix it all in.
And temperature-wise?
I'm going to do this until the pitcher gets a little too hot to handle, a little too hot to touch on the sides. Just almost there.
You definitely use a thermometer. We like 140. That's milk's sweet point.
So now that that's done, remember I've got that damp rag ready. I give that a quick wipe. And then you want to purge again at the end, just to get out any milk that may still be in there. I like using the hot water function because it'll just do it right away and you don't have to wait for it. After that, I'm going to do my espresso into this nice not neutral cup here. And I'll just do a shot in there. While that's going, I don't want my milk to separate too much, so I'm just going to kind of give it a couple little taps on the counter, a couple little swirls to keep it mixed up.
How'd it turn out there? Oh, looks great.
Nice and silky.
You want that kind of like latex paint in a can kind of shininess look to the top, right?
Yep. It does take practice.
It does take practice.
It's one of those things that you see it and you go to a cafe and they pour a pretty design and you're like, oh, I could do that. And then you pour just nothing. And
but I love when we do the videos like this, I kind of get to put AJ on the spot.
Yeah.
Like that. It's like, nail it, AJ.
This is our only take, so hopefully it's not too bad.
That's pretty darn good, right?
Not bad.
Not bad for
For a one-take thing?
for one take.
On this machine, I mean, that's pretty great.
Very
and
nice.
it tastes good, which is really all that matters.
Yeah,
is,
yeah. Well, here, a little cheers.
Cheers.
All right, I got a little bit of my flat white. All right, so that's the Magenta Plus.
Yep.
This one, it's maybe, if you drink a lot of coffee, or if you like to froth or something, or maybe just want to go on the weekends with it, right? This is
yeah.
you
I
got
mean,
some more
personally,
time?
for me, I love manual frothing. I prefer it because it opens up tons of options for whatever drink you want to make. But I also know a lot of people that prefer just press a button and make a milk drink. And if you want to do that, the Magenta Prestige is the way to go.
I mean, turn this on in the morning, pop this on, and in a couple minutes, you've got yourself a cappuccino, a latte macchiato, the flat whites, any of those milk drinks. It's great. As always, if you like this stuff, do like this video and subscribe to the channel, right?
Yeah.
And if you have any questions on them, we do get into the comments all the time. Again, Magenta Plus, Magenta Prestige. That's AJ.
I'm AJ. That's Mark. Thanks
Mark.
for watching.
Thanks,
and,
guys, for watching.
Yeah, come back for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.